Honorable Mr. Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen. The first official visit to Moscow of Mr. Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, is coming to its end. Our talks have been very substantive and fruitful. I hope that they will help to further promote our special privileged Russian-Indian strategic partnership. Yesterday, we had a separate informal meeting with Mr. Modi, during which we discussed almost all key issues of the global agenda. It is important that Russia's and India's approaches towards major international issues coincide in many aspects. Our countries are in favor of the political settlement of the Syrian conflict. We are in favor of the national reconciliation in Afghanistan. We are convinced that it is in the interest of the whole global community to build a broad anti-terrorist coalition acting on the basis of international law and under the auspices of the United Nations. Russia favors the further enhancement of India's role in solving global and regional issues. We believe that India as a great power carrying out a balanced and responsible foreign policy is one of the worthiest candidates for a seat of a UN Security Council permanent member. I would also like to remind you that Russia has actively supported India's accession to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. We are closely cooperating within BRICS, a presidency in which we will transfer to our Indian partners in February 2016. During today's restricted and extended talks and at the meeting with the leading Indian and Russian businessmen, we've been talking about the development of the whole set of bilateral relations. We've paid special attention to trade and economic cooperation. Unfortunately, from January to October 2015, our mutual trade turnover dropped by 14.4%. This has mostly to do with reduced prices for energy resources and demand for machine-building products due to the unfavorable economic situation and exchange rate differences. We have agreed to galvanize our efforts to provide for a sustainable growth of our trade. We have discussed in details our practical measures to develop and diversify the trade turnover, to remove administrative and other barriers. The key role in this work is played by the Intergovernmental Commission, the last session of which took place on the 20th of October in Moscow. Stepping up our investment cooperation is an important reserve that we have. We have agreed to increase our mutual investment flows by deepening industrial cooperation, carrying out major infrastructure and energy projects. With Russia's assistance, Kudankulam nuclear power station is being built. The first power unit of this plant was commissioned in June 2014. Just a few weeks are left before the second power unit is commissioned. We intend to start building the third and the fourth units in the near future. We're also negotiating the fifth and the sixth power units. We've achieved an agreement that the Indian side will provide one more site for the construction of Russian-designed power units. And the state-of-the-art pressurized water reactors 1,200 will be used with the most advanced and secure and safe technological solutions. These are practical steps that we take to implement a very important document that was signed a year ago, Strategic Vision of Cooperation in the Use of Atomic Energy. This document contains our plans to construct at least 6 additional nuclear power plants units in India within the next 20 years. The export of Russian hydrocarbons to India is growing. Under the agreement between the Rosneft company and SR company, there are plans for a large-scale supply of oil and oil products to Indian refineries in the amount of 10 million tons per year during 10 years. This year, Gazprom has exported 5 big lots exports of liquefied natural gas to India. Major projects have been implemented in thermal and hydro energy. The power machines company has concluded the supply of machinery and commissioned equipment for Terry and Balimela hydropower plants, and for Kanasima power plant. The construction of 3 units of Sipat power plant is being constructed on the turnkey basis. However, large-scale business ties of Russia and India go far beyond than energy. I would like to emphasize our strategic cooperation in the diamonds industry. Russia is the biggest diamond extracting country in the world, 27% of extraction. India is the leader in terms of cutting diamonds, 65% of production, almost 50% of Russian rough diamonds go to India. Last year, during our joint participation in the World Diamond Conference that took place in New Delhi, together with Mr. Modi, we have agreed to further step up our cooperation. We are doing this work. In particular, the Al Rasa company has increased the number of long-term contracts from 9 to 12. To broaden our cooperation, we are building a special notified zone at the Para Diamond Bourse. We have also agreed to launch new joint projects in such high-tech areas as aircraft building, car industry, metallurgy, pharmaceuticals, chemical industry. We've discussed the prospects of the participation of Russian business in the implementation of the Make in India import substitution program. We see it as an additional opportunity to create joint enterprises, to transfer technologies, to produce goods with high added value. And we also believe that the protocol that we signed on simplification of requirements for mutual travels of certain categories of citizens of 2 countries will galvanize business ties and liberalize the visa regime. Now businessmen will be able to visit Russia and India upon direct invitations of partners. Our countries have been traditionally closely working on military and military technical cooperation, and I'm referring not only to the supply of products but also to a close technological cooperation. The benchmark for such cooperation is the joint development of BrahMos missile systems. The large-scale production of anti-vessel missiles in the interest of Indian naval forces was launched. Just as much promising are projects of multi-role fighters and multi-role transport aircraft. We have emphasized the importance of regular ground, naval, and air military exercises in Indra. Another important element of the Russian-Indian partnership is, of course, and has always been, humanitarian ties. This year, Russians have shown a great interest in the Festival of Indian Culture. We hope that the Festival of Russian Culture that will take place in India next year will be just as much memorable for our friends. And in conclusion, I would like to thank our Indian colleagues and friends, and in particular Mr. Modi, for the constructive joint work. We will continue doing everything possible to develop the Russian-Indian partnership for the benefit of our countries and nations. Thank you very much for your attention.
Your Excellency, President Vladimir Putin, members of the media, let me begin by expressing my deepest condolence on the loss of lives in the terrorist attack on a civilian Russian aircraft and in the unfortunate downing of the military jet in Syria. In this moment of grief and challenge, we stand in solidarity with the people of Russia. Mr. President, thank you for generous and warm hospitality. You are the architect of the India-Russia strategic partnership. And in a changing world, your leadership has kept our relations on a steady course of progress and growth. Mr. President, I have always had great respect and appreciation for your strategic partnership. It has been a source of strength and success for India in defense, development, and diplomacy. And there is genuine goodwill and mutual respect between our people. As I look to the future, I see Russia as a significant partner in India's economic transformation and in shaping of a balanced, stable, inclusive, and a multipolar world. I've had excellent conversation over the past 2 days and very productive outcomes. It has deepened my conviction that this relationship truly meets the test of a special and privileged strategic partnership. We have laid the foundation of the future character of this strategic partnership. The intergovernmental agreement on manufacture of Como 226 helicopter in India is the first project for a major defense platform under the Make in India mission. It is rightly with our most important defense partner. We have made progress on a number of other defense proposals. This would boost defense manufacturing in India and India's defense readiness with next generation equipments. The pace of our cooperation in nuclear energy is increasing. We are making progress on our plans for 12 Russian nuclear reactors at 2 sites. The agreement today will increase Indian manufacturing content in these reactors. It supports my mission of Make in India. I thank President Putin for his support. With one of the world's largest reserves of hydrocarbons, Russia can be a critical source of energy security for India, especially because of our strategic partnership. With President Putin's support, we are enlarging Indian investment in Russian hydrocarbon sector. President Putin and I are moving creatively in expanding our economic relations. Following our last summit, India has created a special notified zone to facilitate direct trade between the world's largest uncut diamond exporter, Russia and India, which process 90% of the world's uncut diamond. Second, we are working on logistics. Our Green Corridor project has taken off. The international north-south transit corridor through Iran will significantly reduce transportation time and costs. Third, we are moving forward on the India-Eurasian Economic Union Free Trade Agreement. This will also benefit us in Central Asia. Fourth, we are encouraging our private sector to connect with each other more. We have just had an excellent meeting of CEO Forum. The agreements and the announcements today give me confidence that we will see huge increase in investments and trade in both directions. President Putin and I have high degree of convergence in our position on global issues and a strong commitment to deepen our international cooperation. We have a strong collaboration in the United Nations. Our membership of BRICS, East Asia Summit, G20, and now Shanghai Cooperation Organization gives our partnership a global character. It is particularly important in the arc of Eurasia to Asia Pacific, including in Central Asia and Afghanistan. We are one in our belief that the world must unite and take considered action on combating terrorism without distinction and discrimination between terrorist groups and target countries. We agree that an early political settlement through dialogue in West Asia is essential for restoring stability and containing extremism in the region. Indeed, all nations must come together with sensitivity to each other to address the challenge of our times. I am very pleased to have deepened my association with President Putin. Together, we have also given new direction and added more momentum and content to our strategic partnership. Just as I have had a pleasure of visiting Russia twice this year, I look forward to welcoming President Putin in India next year for the BRICS summit as well as the annual summit. Thank you.